Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everybody. We got a we got a pop-up show. Alhamdulillah. We got a pop-up show. I like to do pop-up shops. I like to do pop-up shows. Alhamdulillah. So we got a good what does this thing do that all the time? They always put that StreamYard stuff in there. I don't know why they always do that. Okay, so we got a special show. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Uh, Hold on one second. Um, we got a special show and a special topic. Uh, Alhamdulillah. It's a new series that that I'm starting. I think this is a very much needed series. Um, as y'all can see, the conversation. Hold up, let me do my little banner. Alright. Boom. So today's topic is toxic relationships. First, y'all tuned in with the Black Muslim media. So we are covering various topics that are relevant in the Black community. So, alhamdulillah, if just show a little support, like and share. We don't have a subscription, so like and share, inshallah ta'ala. Um, that way we can get the algorithm going. We can get some of these good conversations out there in the sphere, because that's what I like to do on these platform. On this platform is have the type of have relevant conversations that we all can relate to and we could take something out of. So let's jump straight in because we got some heat today, man. We got some heat, man. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna go ahead and I promised y'all we have a special guest. So alhamdulillah, going to add our special guest. Special guest, are you ready? Shake your head because I can see you. Are you ready, special guest? Boom! The special guest is here. Alhamdulillah. We have the beautiful Mrs. Muhammad, Mrs. Top Op. That's what the brothers call me in the group. They be arguing about who it is. But, the Top Op. What's wrong? Hurry up, because I'm doing something. What's wrong? Um, okay.
Is my thing low?
No, but okay, y'all give me one
You are
second.
very low.
I'm very low. You need to
Yeah,
turn your volume up.
I did. It's all the way up.
I don't know why I would be low. You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Give me one second. Here, this button. You see what I pointed to? Okay, so alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So we got a hot topic. Close the door. We got a hot topic. Not so much a hot topic. I mean, it's kind of it's a tough topic. That's the word for it. That's the word. Hey, salam alaikum alaikum. Um, we got a okay. Somebody I can't see who that person is. It says it sounds good out here. So my volume with the out there is good. You turned yours up all the way.
Yes.
Y'all still sound low.
Yes.
See, that's what I'll be talking about, man. See. See, that's the stuff I be trying to talk about, man.
I
You hear
don't,
me?
I
You
don't
want to
see
hear?
no views.
I knew you had selective hearing. See, now the people, they are witness. See, y'all are witnesses.
I don't see no views, no comments, nothing.
You can't see nothing?
Nothing at all.
Oh, okay. I can see everything. So,
That's weird.
whatever. Today we want to talk about toxic relationships. So we are taking a huge risk by jumping out there and basically putting our business out there, because we ain't gonna talk about everybody else. We're gonna talk about our hey, Malika Muhammad says you got a Wahhabi phone. She actually does. she converted, but I don't think her phone did, man. Oh man, they cold. They cold. They got the phone. I got you, and they got the phone.
Yeah.
We gonna take a big risk, man. Her and I, not me and her, not me and I, her and I. Her and I have a lot of conversations within ourselves, talking about toxicity in relationships. Of course, we try to stay away from it, but both of us are survivors of domestic violence and toxic relationships. Those two things kind of go hand in hand. We don't. I mean, a lot of people don't like. I mean, I know Allah is my judge, so I don't. It bothers me a little bit to talk about this, on the public platform. But I think we kind of need to start the conversation because number one, her and I having the conversations has been extremely therapeutic, just for myself and also for her. Both of us coming out of toxic marriages beforehand, before us, obviously. Well, her a little bit, but before us, obviously. But so first thing I want people to know is how prevalent toxic relationships are. Toxic relationships are um, more prevalent than we like to admit. Her and I were doing some reading earlier on this topic. We didn't do a deep research. We did a light research on it, and immediately we found that 50+% of Black families, really more so women, experience domestic violence in relationships. Um, and that what was this, 60% of all female homicides were domestic
It was
violence.
58%.
60.
Yeah.
We're gonna round that one up because we know it's much more than what the numbers could show. It's very prevalent. It's here. Hopefully, it's not here to stay. We also read that Black women are 2.5 times more likely than any other woman in this culture, in this country, to experience domestic violence. They didn't have the statistic down for men. Matter of fact, the one statistic I seen was 40% of Black men experience domestic violence. And when they termed, and this came from, it's a pretty reputable institution. I think it's the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, whatever that acronym is. That's the acronym. So they got a whole institution and they got researchers that they use to bring this data, and hopefully we can begin to do what we need to do with the data. So that being said, this stuff is here. It's here. I never thought I would be victim to it. She definitely never thought she'd be victim to it. So we're not going to name the names because these people they still Muslim and they are still alive, and we got children with these people. So, but they know what they did.
That's a lot.
No, I'm playing. No, we just want to talk about it in a respectful way, and we have helped each other heal, and like we really do feed off each other in the healing process. I know I do for sure, for sure. She got me when I was still a wounded animal, so um, um, we'll get into all of that. The first point we want to bring up is we want to reflect on. We want to keep it real because y'all know that's what we do on this platform. We keep it all the way gutter, keep it all the way. What the young people say now, we keep it a buck. We keep it all the way a buck. So we want to walk y'all through. Uh, I know a lot of people are actively going through this kind of stuff, or just might be coming out of it, or need to come out of it. So alhamdulillah, we were survivors of domestic violence. So we want to talk about the thought process, what's going on when you are in it. Because when you're in it, it's almost like you don't really know you in it. Um, did you want to chime in real quick and go first, or you want me to go first?
You could go first. I'm still a little shy.
Man, she been hyped all day, pacing back and forth, like, yeah, we can ready to do this video.
Yeah, until about
And then
8:45.
2 minutes, I looked, it was like it's 8:59. You ready?
Then it
Like,
got real.
huh?
I said yeah until about 8:45, and then it got real.
Now you'll be okay. Just be your natural self, like how you do and how you are with me. Because I think I brought you on here because the people need to. Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I
They
still
need,
can't see the comments.
and I don't know what's up with that. We have to figure that out. But I can see everything, so and
Okay.
we'll get to him. Malika Muhammad, she got a few comments. Alhamdulillah. But we want to take y'all, at least from my perspective, and I'm gonna speak from a man's perspective. This is something that we don't get a lot. I never been in a abusive relationship. Um, so when I say abusive, I don't mean like seeing like she was throwing me between the washer and the dryer. It wasn't that, and it's actually it's it's a tougher. I ain't gonna say tougher. It's just different. It's very different than the women being the victims. Um, very, very, very. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. So yeah. Um, from a man's perspective, um, it uh, is the dynamic is very different. Very, 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 very different. And Nyla gonna be right back. Oh, I didn't even introduce her, but she'll be right back. She checking on the baby. Did you? Oh, okay. Um. So yes, the it's different because when a woman hits you, we all talk, don't hit her back. You know what I'm saying? So when I was getting hit on and getting stuff threw at me, and just all types of stuff, stuff thrown at me, knives coming after me, all kinds of just absurd kind of stuff. I'm stuck. I'm like, I can't beat her up. You know what I mean? She ain't a dude, so I can't know. So you kind of stuck. You know what I mean? As a man, you kind of stuck because you can't really, sometimes you get offended. Like a few times, I definitely grabbed her up. I definitely, hey, you about to chill out, and I had to hold her down and make her stop. And when she was, going crazy and stuff a lot of times. But as a man, like you can't just go down the pipe of your woman or your wife. You know what I'm saying? So when she hit you, you like, whoa, like, don't chill out, don't stop. It's you can't defend yourself, so it's hard for a man. And then on top of that, there are a lot less services for men. They got all these hotlines and stuff that they have for women. They don't have that stuff for men. Not that I know of. I'm pretty sure that men can utilize that stuff for women, but it's not as prevalent. It's obviously not as prevalent. So um, that was the first thing that was very, very, very difficult for me. Was that this was like with no dude off the street, and I can get him together real quick, and then the problem is over with. Um, that was the first thing. Second thing was, and this was the most, if you defend yourself, like Abu Muhammad said, if you defend yourself, you're going to jail. They don't care what she did. If she put hands on you and you put hands back on her, you going down, Bucko. You're definitely going down. So that was the first thing that was hard for me. The second thing was, and I think her and I had we agreed that because she asked me and I asked her like, why did you no, I wasn't in her situation, so I couldn't I was on the outside looking at her situation, when we talking, and I was like, why did you stay? And she did the same thing with me. She was like, why did you stay? Um, what's that noise?
That was the door.
Oh, yeah, okay. um, so yeah, the thing that was toxic was I felt like that individual made me feel like um I was responsible for their happiness. That was the most toxic thing. That person, may Allah, preserve them and guide them to a better place, and mentally and spiritually. It was always, you gonna leave me? You gonna, and like soon as go up beside my head, grab my phone, go in it. Who is this? Who is that? Who's that? Throw the phone, break the phone, get out. The whole nine. After all of that, I'm like, all right, you want me to get out? All right, whatever, cool. Oh, you want to leave because you got somebody on the side already, and all that stuff. I grab my stuff, get ready to go. Oh, you gonna leave me? You gonna leave your family? You gonna do me like this? That making you feel guilty. Made me feel guilty. Made me feel like I was a bad man. Was playing on my pride as a man. Made me literally feel guilty. So like the majority of the relationship, I was like trying to prove to myself that I was not a guy that would walk out on his family and or walk out on her when she needed me most. And despite what she did, of course it'd be the physical stuff, and then it'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm so gonna do it again, and blah blah blah, we'll do, and I'm like, all right, and then I didn't want to put nobody in jail. I just got out of jail, and I don't call the police on nobody or nothing like that. And plus, like I said, it was a lady in my case, so then it's different. If you send a female to jail and she had a lot of kids, so she's gonna lose all her kids and lose all this stuff. And like I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna try to figure it out and work it out myself. And that thought process, like, I felt like I was like that. She made me feel like I was responsible for her happiness. I was responsible for her love. I was responsible for her everything. I was responsible for her existence. And I felt like I needed to prove to her that I could make her happy and I could give her that fulfillment that she was looking for. But all in all, if a person, people say it as cliche all the time. If a person don't love themselves, they can't love nobody else. So that's just an overview of how I felt when I was, what kept me in it, because it was continue. It started early. I ignored all the red flags. I didn't even really know what the red flags were. Um, uh, but that's what, when people find out how it ended. Like she actually tried to shoot me like in the head. So when people find that out, they like, man, why you stay with her? Why did you do this? And what was the red flag? What was the signs? Like people don't understand when you're in a toxic relationship. That person, like they like grind themselves into your brain and into heart and into your soul, and they do things to you from the inside out. And it's not as easy as a lot of people will like say, "Oh, just leave," or "I'll just do this," or "just do that." I like it was seemed like it was a game that was being played that made me feel like I was responsible for proving that I was just, that I was a good man. And if I didn't answer to her dictates, then I was not a good man. And I take a lot of pride in being a good man because I'm religious. I know the punishments for a husband who is treacherous. So um, that's how I feel. That's what kept me in. Babe, what talk to us from a woman's perspective, and then and on top of that, a Muslim woman's perspective on when you were in, your relationship, your past relationship. What was going through your head, um, during that time period and that tough time period.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nyla from Facebook.
I
At
knew you was
least
gonna
that's what
say
my
that.
husband say. But honestly, as a Muslim woman um experiencing trauma physically, mentally, I honestly was confused, because I knew that this wasn't, part of Islam. So I was confused as to what was going on. And what kept me in it, me and him, we actually we built a lot. We did. We built a lot. We got our first home together. We had children together, and I grew up in a big family, so I honestly, I'm a family person. And not only, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm nervous,
You all right?
but so yeah, I grew up in like a big family. Like I'm not for the streets at all. So, I stayed, and after a while I noticed, like, this is not okay. Like, this is not normal, and I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional about it.
Just take
I
your time.
But but it was very hard. Like I said, we had children, and I've always wanted my children to grow up in a two-parent household, like I did. Um, and also, is I had in my head, well, he put in my head that, you have kids, nobody's going to want you, you know. So he beat me down very, very bad emotionally, and I mean, I did everything that a wife could possibly do. Like, I did. I was compassionate. I was hands on with the children. I would do all these different things, and it just seemed like it was never enough. Like, the more I did, the more he wanted, you know, and the more he beat me down about it. So, after a while, you know, our home that we did have together, I was told I was actually kicked out with my children. And at first it was just, verbally, like, leave my house, which I was confused, like, this is our house, first off. But but then it turned into, leave my house. And then once he came back, if I was still there, it turned into physical abuse. And honestly, I was tired of hearing leave my house. I had to remember where I came from. I had to remember who I am as a person. And I'm like, I'm the one helped get this house. So once it turned physical, this was after a few years of the physical abuse. you know uh I just decided, like, enough is enough. So yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So I'm sorry, messing with my phone. So hey, salam alaikum, Sakina Rashad. Hey, we were talking about you earlier, Sakina. That's the sister we was talking about earlier.
Oh,
Salam
okay.
alaikum.
The
Yeah,
one that do the videos.
I was trying to contact you so we can get you in on this conversation. Alhamdulillah. But inshallah, we'll hook up. We'll hook up. We'll get something together. But yeah. So so you mentioned he beat you down mentally, made you feel
Yeah.
like he was
I mean,
inadequate.
it started off, and another reason why I was confused, it started off slow. He would do bad, and then he would do something good to me,
Yeah.
So I was first off, I was young, I was confused, like, I had a whole lot of hope, like I really did.
And
Like I
that
thought,
being first
maybe if I
marriage.
be patient, it'll get better. They say men mature slower than women. So I kept reminding myself, like, maybe if I stay a little longer, he'll mature, and we'll be this big happy family that I've always wanted. And honestly, it got worse. Like it got worse
What
as
do
the
you think
years
made it
went on.
worse?
Huh?
What do you think made it worse?
Um, Honestly, I honestly don't know. I really don't know. Like I said, I was doing everything that a wife supposed to do. Even as far as, not talking back, he would say something and I would kind of be like quiet, you know, and
And guys abuse that too,
yeah,
right?
I
Especially on the
thought
South
guys
side.
like that,
Uh,
but I thought guys like that, but no, they don't. So, I would do the whole quiet thing because I never want to say anything that I can't take back, And I was just, I didn't want to earn the anger of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, I would just be quiet. I would acknowledge that that I'm listening, that I understand. But like I said, it was like the more I did, the worse it got.
mm,
I was told that he didn't want me and all these other things. And then when I finally left, you was begging for me. So it's backwards. It
it's that
really
old
is
adage.
like,
They say they don't know how good it is until it's gone.
yeah, it's very backwards.
Okay, so the next thing we wanted to touch on, I hope that was clear. We tried to give details without giving details. Like we said, they are Muslim. Our exes, they are Muslim, and we don't want to throw any. We don't want to put nothing in the mix. And we got kids with
Yeah.
these individuals. So, but like we said at the beginning, this has to be spoken about because it's not okay. Second thing, how do we get out of it? So. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. How
So,
did you get out of uh, your toxic situation? When you before you stopped, just now you said after he was kept saying get out, then you was like that was enough.
mhm.
How did you come to the conclusion? Like, how did you build up the strength and the courage? Because that's hard. That's hard. What to leave your husband, dismantle your family. That's hard.
Yeah,
How
I
did you
mean,
build that up?
it is very hard. Like me leaving, even though I know that it wasn't healthy, I honestly I didn't want to leave. I didn't know how to leave. I should say, I didn't know what was next for me or whatever. But I just had to keep reminding myself, why I'm leaving. I literally sat daily and I would talk to myself like, you have to leave. This is not good. you're going to end up dead. I was already being hurt, bruises, all of it. And I was like, it's getting worse. Like, you're going to end up dead, and then what put the icing on the cake for me was my child recognizing it, what was going on, and I told myself, my child knows what's going on, and if I don't leave, my child is going to grow up hating me. It's not fair to put them through any of that.
So that was the icing on the cake for you?
Huh?
That was the icing on the cake for you?
Most definitely was, because I had to look at the bigger picture. At that point, I knew that we was not going to be together later on down the line, and I would have to answer to my kids.
That's very mature. I definitely respect that 100%, because a lot of us are selfish, and we want what we want, even though we know it's not the best thing for us, and definitely not for the children. People be wanting what they want, and they stay in these kinds of relationships, being selfish, and they not only damage themselves and the individual, the perpetrator, they damage the children forever. That never goes away. It never, ever, ever goes away. So,
no, and then even like when I left the home, I still had hope. We are still married. We weren't technically divorced yet, and I still had a key, everything. About a week later, after leaving the home, I returned back to our house, because this is still our house. And, I was faced with the most craziest thing ever. And I go there to get work clothes early in the morning, and there's a female laying up with him in our bed.
Worst case scenario.
In our home.
Worst case scenario. So at that moment, was that kind of like, oh yeah, like it's over?
Well, that was like another reminder, like, no, don't return back, because even after I left, of course, you have these thoughts like, man, maybe I could, you have this hope, like, maybe I could just, give him a little time. It'll work out, and then I had, that experience. Then I, backed off a little bit more, and then I fully moved out, but I still had some hope, and then here it is. He just kept smacking me in the face with all these different things, and at that point I was too numb. Like, women check out mentally before we do physically, and I was just done. I was like, as bad as it hurt, nah. Nah.
Did at that moment, were you able to encourage yourself that you can find better, or you was just like, I just don't want that no more?
At that moment, I was just like, I don't want that no more. I did believe that I couldn't find better, because I had children and all this other stuff. But, it came to a point in time where I was like, if I can't find better, then I just won't have better, and I won't have you either.
You can do bad all by yourself.
So yeah.
So mine's is I'm not as smart as she is. I'm just gonna be real short and sweet and to the point with it, because I ain't trying to waste nobody's time. The physical abuse was continuous. I want to highlight something that Nyla said. She said they beat you down. These toxic people, they beat you down mentally, and I was beat way down. I was like I could not. I didn't think I had any value outside of her. And she succeeded in making me believe that I was such a bad man, and anything that she thought was wrong that I might have done and that we fell out about or whatever, it was just always, you this, you that, you this, you that. And when you got a person that's constantly telling you that, and then it's your spouse, this ain't just some, Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street. This is your spouse, the person who is supposed to build you up. Um, she succeeded in making me think that I was not the uh, decent enough person that I thought I was. It was so bad that I had not. We got married in 2016 as soon as I came home from prison, and I think from 17 to when her and I got married, I didn't touch. I barely recited the Quran, barely read the Quran. I wasn't doing my videos like how, I mean, I started doing my thing, but the reason why, if people that's been friends with me for a while on Facebook, since I came home, especially my brothers, they always supported me. Malik Robinson, Salih, Abdul Majid. Um, they'll tell you like my videos stopped for like 3 years straight, and for that 3 years, I was just so ashamed of myself because of her. Um, I felt like I wasn't fit to you know benefit the community in the way that I thought that I could. I study hard. I study a lot. I take a lot of pride in my civic duties to my community. I'm beyond passionate about that, and everybody that knows me knows that. Just because I feel like I was victim to things that are not correct in our communities. I grew up doing what I saw and what I learned. So I don't fault myself so much for that because it was my environment. I knew other things, but those other things were not realities, nor were they at all opportunities. So um, I made my mind up when I was in prison that I'm gonna do something about it to change it. I don't want to live in it anymore in those conditions, and I don't want anybody else to suffer from those conditions. So that's what these videos are. This is my life's work. I'm literally doing my best to spill out my intellectual so-called legacy. I've been studying for a while. I've been Muslim since 2007, and I've been on fire about this since about 2008. So I just, and I worked tirelessly on it. So with this thing being my passion, this is my baby. Um, she succeeded in making me feel like I was trash and then I was nothing, and that I'm a hypocrite. I can't benefit my people. If I can't benefit my own wife, then how could I benefit my own people? And she used to say stuff like this. I can second that they beat you down mentally, and I'm really, really, really big um, on like Nyla said earlier when she was speaking, not saying stuff that you can't take back. If y'all don't get nothing out of this video, don't ever say things that you don't feel. At that moment, you might be like, man, mother, you might feel like that at that moment, but you don't want to leave that person. And if anything happened to that person, then you would be crushed. So we got to be very careful about those words. And it got to a point with me circling around to answering how I got up out of it. That when she continuously beat me down, 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 I just got tired of it. I believed her. So when a person continuously, you know, doing that stuff, and then of course the physical stuff comes after the demands are not met. I got tired of it, and I was like, I actually did take a second wife. Um, a lot of people who knew me from Facebook was like, "Oh, that's what triggered her. That's what caused her to try to kill you. There's no cause to try to kill your husband. I don't care what you say. You know, like my dude said, chicks get cheated on every day, B. I took a wife, I didn't cheat on her, but I don't. It's controversial. I think I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't think that alone is a mistake, because I know a lot of people say don't take a second wife if what you got going on with your first wife ain't right. I don't necessarily believe that. I just think that it was a mistake in my position when the relationship should have been over, period. I still thought that I had some type of allegiance to her happiness. I still felt responsible for her happiness. I still felt responsible for her being. So my thing was like, hey, it's legal for me in our religion for me to have another wife, and that, love that I'm not getting from you, I found somebody who give me that love. So I did take a second wife, and everything was fine. We were copacetic for like 2 months. Her behavior actually straightened up. It was almost as if like she was, actually afraid of losing me because now there was somebody else. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Don't give me the line. And brothers, I'm not saying do that. So don't save the death threats in the inboxes. That was just I'm just sharing my experience, my situation. And my other wife, she was, she wasn't like that. She was very supportive, very like she pumped me back up. She recognized what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the good that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala trusted me with. And that was, that brought me back up. That brought me back to life after this individual spent almost 5 years trying to literally destroy me from inside out. Long story short, text my other wife, good night, talk to you in the morning. She knew that. We got into a fight, a physical altercation that night. I was like, you know what? In the morning, I'm out. I'm done. We ain't doing this no more. And I had somebody else who validated that I wasn't, this bad monster that she was trying to make me out to be. And so I was leaving. I was leaving. I got up the next morning and I was using the bathroom. She kicked the door open with a rifle, start busting. That's what made me leave. So, like I said at the beginning of that, I was not as smart as Nyla. Nyla was able, after experiencing it, she was able to, put things together. It's like, I don't think this is getting any better. Me, I thought that I could fix it, but I'm a man. So, men, we are fixers. We think that we could find a solution for everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes we can't find a solution to everything. And I learned that through my experience. So, model of the story, y'all, do not let that stuff get that far, because I literally almost lost my life. So did she. Giving people these chances. Love is easy, man. Love is easy. We are definitely gonna have moments when we are not our biggest fans. Me and her, we definitely have disagreements, definitely have arguments. I've yelled at her, she's yelled at me. That's life. That's what happens. Oh, you want to go there? Yo, is it a new show? Or are we remixing the show?
I do not yell.
She got yell because she got like a little voice. But let me rephrase. Let me see what she says. She uses a strong tone. So, but at the end of the day, we don't cross that boundary. We don't step past that. It don't ever get disrespectful, and it's not a hard thing. We actually, we got two people who actually do love each other. So it's just like with your mom or your dad. You might not always be happy with your mom and your dad. You might not, but you ain't just gonna be out here saying just anything. Get out, mom. You ain't about to be acting like that with your mother and your father, because you truly, genuinely love those individuals. You care about the way that you make them feel. All the time. I'm get some of my nerves all the time. I've learned now in my age, now I'm a little bit up in age. I've learned now I just don't say nothing. She has my opinion. I might give it to her, but I just don't say nothing. I'm learning that with her, but I just don't say nothing.
Why
So,
you keep saying that?
Saying what?
Huh?
Saying what?
Nothing.
But don't let it get that far, y'all. Do not let it get that far. When you see the red flags, accept the red flags. These people are sick and they need help that you cannot give them. You cannot be a great friend of mine, and she can attest to this. Keena. She's Keena Ray on Facebook. She's actually a therapist, a licensed therapist. My One of my best friends growing up. I've known her since middle school, since 7th grade. I've known her. Man, I mean, and, sometimes she would put her professional license down and be like, "Man, what, I'm fool? What is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Women that love to have you, man. What you, man?" She was talking to me like that's but that wasn't getting nowhere, and I quit talking to her because I'm like, I ain't trying to hear none of that. But when she seen how serious it was, she literally counseled me from the beginning. Wallahi, from the beginning, she was like, "No, too many flags on the play. No." Like the first physical instance, I don't know who to call. I didn't know who to talk to or whatever. That's my friend. I called her, talked to her, and she told me, she's like, get out of that situation, leave, don't ever come back. No. And it was crazy because she was dealing with it. And she had dealt with it. She's a licensed therapist. I hope she don't mind me put that out there. But we're just being real. And she, she was brave. She got herself out of a situation that was similar, and she went through it before I went through it. She had been married much longer than I had. Got married before I did. When I was still in the drum when she got married. So she had experiences that I didn't have. And she told me what I'm telling y'all, what we are telling y'all tonight. Do not let it get that far. If a person is doing harm to you, they do not love you. That's obsession. It's not love. The woman who I laid with every single night, I fed her children. She fed my children. I fed her. She fed me. I did things for her. She did things for me. We had a child together. Pointed a gun at me and tried to kill me. That's not love. And that crushed me. I must be honest. That crushed me. That crushed me. That was harder than any of the other things that she said. That the realization of it. At first, when it all happened, I was literally still sick. I was still sick. Like when she got locked up for doing it, I was still helping her. I was putting money on her phone. I put money on her books. I'm trying to get her out of the situation. I'm like, nah. She just freaked out. She just crashed out. But I had Keena and some of my other friends that was there with me. It's like, Negro, please. Like if you help her get out, we gonna pay for your funeral. It's not gonna stop. They won't stop until they get help, if they ever get help. These kind of situations are dangerous, y'all. Her ex almost killed her a few times. And men, what we don't know, if any toxic guys is trying to get better and they listening to this, if you hit your woman, you big. Like me, I'm 230 pounds. Not fat. I work out. It ain't too many humans that can stand up under my punches, let alone a woman, your woman. So if you hitting them and slamming them and hold them down and doing all this stuff, man, you can cause brain damage to people. So man, I done beat dudes up and then cause them damage. The very first time I put my hands on somebody, I gave them a concussion. The very first time, wallahi, very first time as a kid. So imagine what you could do to, your woman, to a woman. This stuff is not a joke. It's not cute. Like everybody be passing those memes around and like, I'm gonna call your phone 50 times and all the memes about toxicity. That stuff is not cute. I get the jokes.
They feel like if you're going crazy over them, that means you care about them.
That's a
and
point.
It's like how?
That is a point. We talked about that earlier. this whole thing, people thinking toxicity is cute because you got somebody going crazy over you, or you going crazy over a person. You trying to show them that they got you going crazy, or the girl is acting crazy and the guy's enjoying this because he think he got her like that. It ain't cute, and it is not a game. It is not a game. So yeah, so that's how I got out of mine. That's how she got out of hers. Go ahead, man.
I wanted to say something also to the sisters that live in areas with no Muslim community, that are new Muslims, etc. Because I'm just going back just a little bit, but because this is a very important point. But I also found myself, staying longer than I should have because, well, due to where I'm from, we have no Islamic community. And, these were the only Muslims that I knew, so I held on
You
longer
mean
than I
him as
should
his
have.
family?
Yeah, so I mean, I've never known any other Muslims or anything like that. So I held on because, that was the little piece of, Islam I did have, connection, and I didn't want to go back to, whom I was before I became Muslim.
So his last point, that's a good point too, because a lot of women are dealing with that. They don't have anybody. We got a lot of comments on here too. So
Do we? I don't. My phone went dead. I'm sorry.
your phone or the tablet?
My phone went dead, so I can't see no comments. And on the
Phone always
tablet, I
going
can't see
dead.
no comments.
Say nah.
I'm
Um,
sorry, y'all. I'm horrible with phones.
um, we had two more points that we agreed we want to discuss. We getting short, so
Well, the third one, I think we kind of answered it while we was
no, the
talking.
fourth one we did. The fourth one we did. So yeah, last thing. Um, um, what did you experience? What was your experience after you got out of it?
Mm, I'm gonna let you go first.
Mine ain't that long. It's good.
Well, my
I was already married again, as y'all know. Divorced first wife, was with the second wife. That with the second wife, it was that alone was too much for her, and she made um, a responsible decision. Um, she had to look out for her children, and the first wife swore she was gonna kill the second wife, and somehow the first wife convinced the judge that she was a battered woman, and her trying to shoot me was self-defense. And literally overnight, she got out of jail. She had a $2 million bond, and then it went from 2 million to 2,000, and then she got out of jail. So when she got out of jail, um, uh, that caused a major strain on my second wife. She was like, "Oh no, no, I'm not doing this with y'all." She didn't want to put herself at risk, um, her kids. It was just too much. It was too much of a crazy situation. So we agreed to part ways. It was too hard. It was too much going on all at the same time. Said all that to say, um, she kind of helped me restore myself, restore the so-called value that I felt like I lost. Um, and literally like what was in my head. Um, how can I put this? I like to keep it real, so I'm just gonna try to say it the best way that I can. I was working one day and I was in deep thought. Like I cried a couple times. I was cutting that big facility, the big soccer field, so it takes 8 to 10 hours to cut it, and I was cutting it by myself, and that was good because it was therapeutic. I was in this big soccer field, and it takes like 2 hours just to cut that one field. And so my mind was just all over the place. And I cried a couple of times. Um, and I came up to like I had to wrestle with myself to not give in to this because I'm like it threw me off because that was my first wife. You already have so much shame that you would have any type of divorce because the next person like, what's wrong with you? Something wrong with you. Uh don't nobody wants somebody's leftovers. And if you was acting crazy in your last relationship and then you come into somebody else, baggage. Baggage. I felt like I had baggage. So that and then that second situation, my second marriage, I'm gonna say situation, my second marriage being ended because of the baggage. Um that that hurt. That hurt. And that's a lot of times the reason why we put up with things that we shouldn't put up with because we have that shame. Like Nala said earlier in the program, we don't feel like they make us feel like we can't get nobody else, we can't get anything better or not better or just anything else good or worth having because of this type of stuff. And we all have kids. I have kids that I would be coming into a family with. At the time, I had four. So that's that all that stuff was like playing on my head. I'm like, man, ain't no decent, respectable sister gonna hear my story and be like, yeah, my dowry 50,000. Call me. I got told that a couple times too, but I woke up and I woke up and I told myself, I'm not gonna allow nobody to devalue me, and I went for the gusto. Um, I had noticed Nyla on Facebook some years ago, and she was great. She good Muslim. I didn't see her never turning up. All she did was post Islamic stuff. And I told myself basically what I'm trying to say is I need somebody that's on their deen. I need somebody that's on deen. I don't need nobody that's teeter tottering. I don't need nobody I got to counsel. And I don't know. I don't know. I need somebody who's striving just like I'm striving. And I went for it. I went for it and I was honest from the jump street. She was honest from the jump street. Alhamdulillah. We did everything, the straight sunnah way. Hit her up, told her that I had interest in her. And before she even found out why I had interest, she hit me with the Wakil, his number, his information. If you're serious, get at him and we'll go from there. And I did. I spoke to him, had a long conversation with him, kept it real with him. I know a lot of people. We knew a lot of the same people, so he was like, yeah, he's probably a good guy because he knows these guys or whatever. And after that, we got married. That's a big thing. I think that's a whole nother show. Why I chose to get married so soon after all of this and so-called heal, because a lot of people was telling me, hit me up and telling me that, but. I think it's dangerous to be single. Me personally, I think it's dangerous. I don't want to play with that. That's a monster that nobody could slay. So I read something. I don't know if it's true or not, but I read it in a book and it was an authentic book. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, his wife died, and they did the janazah. He did the janazah, and then at that day, at the time of Maghrib, he got married again. Right after he buried his wife, his first wife that he was with for years. And somebody asked him, was like, aren't you going to grieve your wife? And he was like, if you knew what I know, you would have urged me to marry sooner than that. So being single is no joke. It's no joke. And another thing before I pass it to Nyla, people would hit me like, you need some time to yourself, you need to heal. And I had to back everybody up. Was like, yo, I'm gonna get my face blew off by a high-powered rifle by my wife. I will never heal from that. That's a scar right here. That's always gonna be there. I just gotta learn to live with that scar. I didn't let it, destroy me. It changed me forever. And me and her had a lot of deep conversations about this. It changed me. I don't think it's affecting me to where I'm being unfair to her sometimes, but not like how you would think after somebody's spouse tried to kill them. But that's what I experienced. There was just a small window. Um, yeah, that was just a small window. I picked a good Muslim, somebody who by themselves is striving for Allah. Like I saw that about her. It's not a lot of times you can't tell everything off of Facebook, but you are your Facebook. I don't care what nobody say. If you're not your Facebook, you are a fake person. You are a two-faced person. You
The
might not
real you
post
gonna
all
come
your
out
business.
in them statuses sooner or
Oh
later.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You can't hide. Like when people post and stuff, like you have to think before you write something. Or before you put a picture and then put a comment on the picture. You have to think about that. Whatever is in your brain is gonna come out of your mouth or come out on your little Twitterlers. So you are your page. So um yeah, she was a good person, and I knew that I needed the dean in my life. I Counselors and all that is cool. I'm not against it, but I honestly believe all of our medicines are in the dean. And there's a void when you're single. You have a void in your life. You have to fill that void. And I went after somebody who was high value. Um, I went after somebody who was high value. Very, 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 very strong Muslim. That's what attracted me. Very strong Muslim. And Islam, if your Islam is strong, everything else is gonna fall in line. And I knew that. I knew that from experience. So that's what I saw, and I didn't second guess it. And of course, I had that other stuff though. I had a Tanisha that I gave dawah to and became Khadija. I already did that. So Pops told me a wise man don't slip and fall in the same spot twice. Okay, sweetheart. What did you experience when you got out of it, and I guess up until we got married?
Well, honestly, well, I'm the only Muslim in my family. Let me say that. So, I experienced, I was very lonely, because I wasn't married to him anymore. Although I still was in touch with his family, they were still like my family. It just felt awkward, you know, and it took me a long time to get married, due to the fact that I knew that I would lose them, the only Muslims I knew, in the midst of, well, actually, I didn't think that I would lose them. Let me backtrack. I did not think that I would lose them, but I knew that we wouldn't be the same anymore. Although when I did get married, I did lose them, sadly. Uh, but I mean, I had a lot of brothers that was interested in me. A lot of good brothers, with pretty decent jobs. They seemed to be very knowledgeable. Of course, they were Salafis, but seemed to be very knowledgeable. That is not funny, but I don't know. I was just very scared to get married again. Because I was so emotionally abused. I didn't feel like I was capable of being a wife. Although I knew that I did all these good things, you
Mm.
know, um, I had stopped believing that. You
What
know,
made
so
you?
every
What made
time I
you?
would, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Every time I would, think about getting married, I'd be like, no, no, no. I would just doubt it. Like, no, maybe I just be by myself for a while. But yeah, that's. I mean, of course, we all experience all the other stuff. Sadness. Fatigue, all the other stuff. So, but yeah,
What made the difference?
what you mean?
What made you finally remarry?
Because I told myself, you can't stay like this forever. Like that. That's just impossible. And if you find a good brother, I told myself, like, let me try it again. You know.
So I'm an experiment.
No. No.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. So I'm sweating over here like crazy. This tough topic, man.
Yeah, I know. I can't find the right words to say.
I mean, I think you found the right words. Alhamdulillah. Thanks, Ahmad Suyuti. We definitely appreciate your support and everybody's support. Um, um, I think you, I think you, I think you said, I think you did a good job because, uh, like Ahmad Suyuti said, this is hard, especially on in front of the whole entire world. But
It most definitely
um,
is,
I,
especially with
I
not
really,
trying
really hope.
to, you know, tell the world too much.
Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Um, I've been dreaming about having this type of show for a long time, just for the simple fact of the benefit that you and I have given each other. You definitely helped me rehabilitate myself. I tell you that all the time. Um, you're still by my side. Alhamdulillah. You did not judge me. That, and please, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if a brother or a sister done went through something, man, that don't have nothing to do with you. Um, it's definitely important to get the facts, maybe from whoever you're interested in point of view. But I had a couple sisters that was like, yeah, no. Like you did something to make that sister want to blow your head off. Like, but, you never looked at
People that think like that makes me think like you would try to do the same thing.
facts, and I
Like
was
there's
like,
no way you could
yes,
sit there and
and
say that.
justify that.
No.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. There's no justification for physical violence, emotional violence. There's no justification for any of that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. Don't judge a person because they have been through things. Alhamdulillah, we balling. I ain't even gonna hold you. Y'all see us.
Show me somebody who haven't been
We
through stuff.
That's the thing. That's why this conversation is so important because we all are damaged somehow, some way. Black folks, we are damaged
Most
um,
definitely.
to one degree or another. We gotta admit it. You and I, we were upfront and honest with each other from the beginning. Um, I understood it definitely, and you understood it and understand it. And it's a continue. I'm gonna let y'all know it's a continuous thing. Sometimes my trauma comes out, and she can recognize it, and it takes me a while to simmer down. And I tell my partners all the time that you are the best with like handling me when I am not where I should be. Like you are very good with that. I give you that credit. You are very good with that. That's very important to me when I'm having an episode, and vice versa. Sometimes, we, sometimes what a person has been through might, they might be a little funny to you, but you as an individual, you got to realize they've been through something, and then when you know what they've been through, at that moment, it ain't about you no more. It's not about how you feel if you right in this argument or if you're not right about that and these details. It ain't about that. It's like, okay. This is
Yeah.
that guard, that's up. Now I need to come off of what I'm on and calm them down and let them know. Let that it's very I think we do a good job of stressing to each other, um, being there for each other when we having those moments. When it's because we scared. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared to get hurt, and that's all it is. At the end of the day, a person might, they might flinch up because they ain't trying to get hurt no more. Don't nobody want to go through that madness again, and you got to understand that. Being dealing with somebody who has some type of damage, and it's okay to deal with somebody who has some type of damage as long as y'all are both individually striving to be better people. Like you said, we know everybody has damage. There ain't nobody out here that doesn't have damage. The unique thing that her and I share is that we are dedicated to curing our damage all the way around the board, not just from our toxic relationships, but just all of the bad things that we have and bad habits we have in our lives on all together. We are actively engaged with the Quran and studying. We know that is our cure. We know that is integral. We don't have the answers. The answers is in the Quran and the Sunnah. We have to look to the Quran and the Sunnah for our answers. That right there, I really want people to know. There's nothing magical about me, her, or anybody else that have survived domestic violence or a toxic relationship or an emotionally abusive relationship. I just learned something else. A sister was talking about financial abuse. That's a thing. That is something that needs to be dealt with as well. It's important that you must know you must be dedicated to striving. You have to strive. You have to strive, and our sole purpose is for Allah. It's for the pleasure of Allah, and we have that understanding. I know I'm not the end all to be all to her, and she knows that with me. I'm a tool to help her be a better Muslim, and she's a tool to help me be a better Muslim. We have that firmly understood. So if we make a mistake, we get past it pretty easy. Just for that. Now I'm not going to try to be no marriage counselor, but I just want to share. We wanted to do this now. We didn't want to wait like after like 5 or 6 years that we've been together, and we didn't prove that we are cool and we good and we're working. No, we want, like, this thing is hot and burning right now. It's easy to once you got through it to look back and be like, oh yeah, do this, that, and third one. No. We are live from within this tornado. like we are not far removed from these traumatic events that happen in our lives. So we want to document our healing of it, being better, getting better, and ultimately knowing that you will heal and get better and be better. It's kind of hard to relate when you got people that done been through it, and it's like 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and it's way back when. Very rarely do we get a window from the heat of the moment. This ain't the heat of the moment, but when the situations are fresh, that entire process of us building each other back up and getting back to where we need to be as people.
My thing is, long as you being honest, you give somebody the, you give somebody the, what I'm looking for. Long as you being honest about, what you're struggling with, or your, your trauma, you give somebody the opportunity to decide, if they want to deal with that, so that honesty, at the beginning is very, very important. So yeah.
Alhamdulillah. All right, we're gonna. That was a tough one. We got through it. That's a tough one.
We most definitely need to talk about dowry. Yeah, because
Yeah, we
yeah,
gotta
that need to be talked
I'm gonna give
about.
y'all a sneak peek at the end. It's a lot of comments on here. I'm gonna try to get a few of them, and we got to get back to our marriage.
But you got to read them. I can't see them.
I am, inshallah. Malika Muhammad, she said toxic relationships make you lose amana, trust, and stagnates you in new relationships. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I think we touched on that just a little bit just now. Just that we that clenching up and that flinching up. Um, for us, what works, and I'm pretty sure it can work for anybody else. Like a lot of times, if I'm having a moment, like she'll literally like be like, "Oh, okay, all right." She'll recognize that that's me clenching up from what I've been through in the past. So she don't beat me over the head like, "Oh, they ain't got nothing to do with me. You need to get over that." People do that. People do that. My second wife used to do that. Now I'm gonna throw her out there, but just to be real. Um, so yeah, and I picked up on that, and I picked up on that, and so that's kind of a thing that we got that we do. If one of us is having a moment when we clinch up, and we stop trusting, like the sister said, makes you lose amana. We stop trusting. We kick, and it got to a point where when we both were like that. That's a reality too. It'll get to a time where you like, nah, I ain't no, and then she doing the same thing. But we are together for the sake of Allah. And one thing that alhamdulillah, we've instituted that I've never been a talker in my life. We talk. We talk. Um, she say what's on her mind. I say what's on my mind. But at the end of the day, the goal is to strive for the sake of Allah together. That's the goal. That's our common ground. That is our thing. That is what we are built on. We're built on that. I'm here in your life to make you a better Muslim, to help you be a better Muslim, and vice versa. So if I'm not, whatever it is that I'm doing is not helping you be a better Muslim, then then I'm not doing my part. We have that understanding. So it's easy to talk about stuff when we realize what the end, what the goal is. And I think when people get married, when y'all get married and get remarried, have that at the front of the. That was in our first conversation when we had our first sit down. That was the thing. I stressed like, hey, let's do this for the sake of Allah. Let's not do this for me because of you. I think you cute. You think I'm cute, and none of that. None of that. I literally was interested in her because I thought her dean was extraordinary, and she thought the same thing about me.
Most definitely.
That's
It wasn't for money, ladies. That ain't gonna get you far.
I mean, it goes. Money goes away. So
Exactly.
uh, I can't see.
I say that because they think that $10,000 dowry.
Yeah,
Let
that
them know for sure. Oh, he's a good man.
yeah, that don't make you a kid. That don't a high dowry does not make a jerk a nice guy. I cannot see who said it was this Facebook user is
Yeah, I'm about to say
says
who's Facebook
domestic.
user?
Oh, I think that's Sakina. Hold up.
Let's go.
Um, empathy. I can't see it. It says domestic violence is not always physical. Violence comes in many forms. Yeah, we touched on that. Somebody else said men are told to suffer in silence. That is true. When we're going through something and when we are the victims. Malika Muhammad said it took decades before women were helped with domestic violence before society took it serious. So it's going to take a minute before society helps men who are abused. This is a generational trauma. That is so true. That is true. And I know a lot, guys, we joke about it. I got a lot of partners that got some crazy women and they laugh about it. But all the time, the stuff like I get calls sometimes like 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, hey, bro, pick me up, man. Me and my girl just got into it. And, they had a real live physical altercation because the girls acting crazy and insecure and all this stuff. So that's true. Somebody said, definitely don't play the police games. We try not to. Try not to, but I think she tried to blow my face off, man. I'm sorry. Malika Muhammad said, welcome, walaikum salam, Nada Nyla from Facebook. And that's an inside joke of us because, people always joked about not finding love on Facebook and people making all these statuses like, man, Facebook could never, and I'm happy and I have a relationship and I don't even know y'all. You could find, me and her met on Facebook.
Yep, and I just love him so much.
Who paid you to say that? No, we cool. I mean, it's that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But you see, we taking trips around the world and enjoying our lives and having family time all the time. We kick it around each other all day, every day. We found love on Facebook. You gotta do it the right way though. Everything that glitter ain't gold. That was another thing. Like as a man, we had to talk about it. Like when I went through her pictures, looked at her page and stuff. She didn't have any revealing pictures out. So I just want to say that, like, sisters, like if y'all reveal yourselves, that ain't really like, that's not gonna get the guy. It's gonna get a guy, the wrong guy, but it's not gonna get the guy. You get you get the wrong guy. Like she didn't, that impressed me that she didn't have any revealing pictures of herself up. And all the time, she would just take all of her pictures down sometimes. I used to make me mad when I was trolling. Somebody else said toxic relationships is a very relevant thing that has crept in our marriages as Muslims. Yes. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove it and bring about rectification. I mean. Yeah, that's why we're having this show, because it's more prevalent than what we think. The sister Akina, she commented. She said, "You're beautiful, alhamdulillah."
Thank you.
And she urged us on. She said, "Speak." Holla, Julia. Malika Muhammad said, being abused, we become blinded by false hope. We are in disbelief and sometimes ashamed as we stay. Yep.
Most definitely.
Yep. That's pretty much what we were trying to convey to everybody. That we understand, we know what is happening. Can't stress to you enough, man. Get out. It's not going to get better. I don't care how good it is. It ain't going to get better. Sister Zakina says she can relate to everything we saying. Malika Muhammad said the sad thing is that that's not unique. It's not normal, but definitely not unique. I'm not sure. I think she said that earlier pertaining to. So yeah, she said it an hour ago. So he's narcissistic. Trust me on it. People play it on your empathy. Yeah, she was speaking of. She was talking about when you were talking about your past. That mental abuse will have you thinking that you did something wrong.
Most definitely will.
Yep. Me and you both then had that conversation 1,000 times. Like we actually thought we were the ones that was the problem. And then you gotta wake up. It's like, hold up, man! You just punched me in the face. Like, how am I the problem?
I mean, honestly, a lot of times you don't see it until you out of it.
I don't know who said this. Tell sis she looks like she's on the block. What
do that mean?
I don't know. I can't even see who said that. I don't know. I can't, on the
That-
computer, I can't see it. On my phone, I can see it, but on my computer, I can't see it for some reason.
What the heck does that mean?
I don't know. But we definitely active. If you wanted to know, we definitely active out here. It's a saying, a tribute to Ali Ibn Abi Talib. Never make a decision when you're angry. 100%. 100%. I live on that. I live off of that. Imam Abu Muhammad, he said I can also add to the exiting toxicity sometimes. Natural problem solving methods. You're talking about men. Not all of those who suffer from not for all those who suffer from mental illness. I'm not sure why he said that. Probably pertaining to something we said earlier. This the culture of build a bear, build a bear.
What?
Sorry, he's talking about this is the culture of build a bear, making somebody into who you want them to be. How important was fit to building yourself back up? Who said this question? I can't see it. It says Facebook user. Let me look on my phone. Who said that? Oh, that was Ahmad Suyuti. Habibi, fiqh was integral. For myself anyway. So to be short, the brother Joyce Pro, Imam Nadir, me and him had a lot of late night conversations because I wanted to act on my emotions, and I used to call him and check my emotions with the fiqh. What we could do at one point, I gave her a divorce and she was on her menstrual period. So I made that's a prime example. I didn't know I didn't know she was on her. I knew you can do that, but I didn't know she was menstruating. So that was the understanding of fiqh was it was integral. It guided me through it because if you don't have fiqh, then you're just gonna do anything because you don't know what to do. How was it? How was it relevant with you, man?
Well, at that time I was Salafi, so I didn't know anything
You
about
didn't have a
fiqh.
fiqh, wife out here busting shots.
No, I'm not. Honestly, I didn't
Dump the clip, man. Dump the clip.
I didn't know anything about fiqh.
Okay. So that sounds mad crazy. Yeah. It was nuts, man, and it was worse. Just like she said, we're just trying to not go into too much detail because they are Muslim, and we do have children with them. Maliki Muhammad said, most of our issues start from childhood. You got to get to the root of why you stay in abuse or why you're abused. Coach Sabria Mills, yes, I know her. Alhamdulillah, is great at navigating through toxicity. She definitely is. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve the sister. True, that toxic stuff ain't cute at all. Looking at the death penalty ain't cute. Abu Mama said that. Said looking at the death penalty ain't cute. When you first start seeing stuff and you talk to the person about it and they don't change, it's time to go for real, for real. Yes, because loving a person is not hard. Loving a person is not hard. You just do right by me. When you in love with somebody, you're infatuated with that person. You want to take every moment that you possibly can to make that person feel how special they are to you.
Well, a lot of times they don't do these things in the beginning. It's not that easy.
That's true, because that's how it was for you, right?
Yes. It did not start off abusive.
And it was kind of, I know from what you told me, it was really, really hard because that's a hard situation because, like you said, he was great at first.
Yes.
And it got like that. So you knew his potential. You knew what he could have, what and who he could have really been because you already experienced it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people haven't. So that's another thing that can, make you want to stay in it because quote unquote, that's not him. And you're trying to get him back to himself and trying to be there for a person while they go through whatever they're going through, and then y'all can forget about it and never bring it up again.
Well, I don't think it was so much it wasn't him. It just, he didn't show the real him
at that moment.
At the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It was in there because I ain't done nothing wrong. It was in there.
Someone said, alhamdulillah, we appreciate you both for sharing your toxic experiences. From a man's point of view, it takes a man that is secure in himself to open up like this. Abdul Kabir Muhammad al-Malik, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and assist Nala. Ameen. Wa iyyakum. Jazakumullahu khaira. So did sharing your past toxic situations with each other bring you two closer and strengthen your bond? You want to go first?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Can you see that?
Yeah. Did sharing your past toxic situations with each other bring you two closer and strengthen your bond? For me, I would say that it did. It taught me. So basically, when someone triggers, you you stay away from them. So most definitely, I feel like it most definitely strengthened our bond.
Yeah, for me, I tell you all the time, you gave me my value back. I felt like she took it from me. I wasn't reading the Quran. I wasn't learning my fiqh. I wasn't, I was teaching before, and then at the beginning of our me and her relationship, and then I stopped because of all of that stuff. And she even came to, she even came to Taaleem one time and acted a fool in Taaleem. SubhanAllah. And then another time, we had like this big event, and I was supposed to speak at the masjid, and I introduced her to a bunch of the sisters, and one of the sisters was like, "Oh, I didn't know the brother was married," and she flipped. Stuff like that. I was like, man, I can't even go to the masjid. I can't take her to the masjid. She trying to fight the sisters. She having a problem with the sisters. Oh, she just want to be your second wife. That's the only reason why she coming to your Taaleem. Stuff like that. It really shut me down. And remember when we very, very, very first got married, and I told you, that I'm into this type of stuff, and I told you, do you think that I should, just sit down and shut up and just, get in the community, or do you think I should stand up, speak out, and,
I most definitely remember that.
Yeah. You remember what you told me?
Yeah.
She told me, nah, do your thing. And most she was behind me 100%. I told her that. And I just was sifting for information. I wanted to see, if you believed in me, and you did, alhamdulillah. And on top of you wanting to learn and stuff all the time, that you coming to me for that was made me feel so good, because now I got somebody I can talk to about with the deen. Sometimes you get with them people and they all about the dunya, and that's all they want to talk about is the dunya. So when you coming to me and you like, I want to learn this, I want to learn that, I want to do this, or what about this, or what about that, and now I'm in my element. I'm like, bling. I'm like, oh, this is what I do right here, So so to answer the question, yes, yes, it did. Sharing our experiences did make us closer, because, like she said, we learned each other's boundaries. We knew what we had gone through, and who we are, and who we had to become after those relationships, and who we need to become during our relationship. So yes, it most definitely did. They said, I wonder how many people have the same concerns but haven't had the courage to deal with it like this. I'm glad someone came out with this for people to relate to. Alhamdulillah. That just tells us that our intentions when we talked about this morning, our intentions was, alhamdulillah, they were rewarded. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah. Being vulnerable is a strength. It's not a weakness. Alhamdulillah. Malik Muhammad said that. So marriage is ibadah. We have to keep that in our mind at all times, 100%. Some people you see on Facebook is the same people you see on the street, so that logic is foolish. I don't know what that was pertaining to, but that's it. It says the Ummah. Oh, he Malik had a couple comments. Hold on. Oh, that was solid. I knew that was him that said until since she on the block. That was solid. Malik said that was Malik that said that the saying of Ali. He said, Alhamdulillah, he appreciates us both for sharing our toxic experience from. Oh, I read that already. I didn't know that was Malik. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay. Last one. Somebody said, very good, official Shukran. Thank you so much for giving us the time, because I know this ain't the Housewives of Atlanta. It's the boring dean of Allah. I know. So we definitely appreciate people tuning in for this type of initiative, because each one teach one. So if you all are better, I'm better, because we're a community. Alhamdulillah. The community props up. The community props up people. It's a support system for the support system, which is the family, and then the family is a support system for the individuals in that family. So if we are all healthy to one degree or another, and we're sharing knowledges and we're sharing experiences that are beneficial, then alhamdulillah, we know better, so we'll do better. And when my people are better, then I'm better. Alhamdulillah. I mean, this especially about this, because it's hard to even get married. It's hard. Me and her talked about that earlier. It's very hard to get married. It's very hard to get a person that you can strive for the sake of Allah with, a person that's just not going to weigh you down, hold you down, and beat you down. Or when things get tough and get rough and they start blaming you for everything. It's hard to find a person that's going to, do this bit of life with you. So these efforts are definitely for the benefit of our community, and it's for all of us. The last time I said, have you found that your fiqh studies have increased since getting married, and how far are you in your Maliki fiqh? I love success stories. Ask that. Oh, that was Ahmad Suyuti. Yeah, because my mind is clear now. So, like I said before, it shut me down. It's really hard to put. It's really hard to put it in words. But when I was in that toxic situation, that just about the entire time for at least 4 years straight, I was just shut down mentally, and it was all because I felt like I wasn't even worthy to read the Quran, to continue memorizing the Quran, memorizing my fiqh, learning my fiqh, getting better at my Arabic, all of this stuff. I didn't feel that I had the value, and then on top of that, I was distracted by trying to cure this individual that I couldn't cure. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can cure somebody like that. They got to go through whatever they got to go through to get better. So I was like chasing behind this person, trying to fix them, and I couldn't do work on myself. It's different when you got two people that's individually working on themselves. I remember when we and you first got married, when we went to Detroit. That was our first little trip, wasn't it? Detroit.
I don't know. We went so many places.
It was when we was in Detroit. You had my hoodie on, that white hoodie, and you was in your own worlds. You was reading, and you picked up a book I had in my truck. It wasn't your book. It was a book I had in my truck that was on the window. You picked it up and was looking at it, and then you started reading it. And I was playing on my phone all the way up there, and I was like, "You quiet over there? What are you doing?" I thought you was on your phone. Like most females, they be always on, taking pictures and stuff and whatever. But you just sit over to read. I took a picture of it. I got that picture to this day right now. I took a picture and I was like, she doesn't play on her phone. She reads. And
I remember that.
You remember?
Yeah.
So when you got two people, I brought that story up because when you got two people who are individually striving, that will make you strong. You ain't got no choice but to be strong. Alhamdulillah. So any last words, babe? 'Cause we got it's nighttime. It's
Nope.
nighttime.
Nope.
You good?
Yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
great.
Okay. I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Alhamdulillah. This was tough. I'm not sweating anymore. Um, I was scared. She
I
was
know
scared.
my palms was so wet over here.
But we did this for the sake of Allah, man. This is and maybe we'll have some more conversations like this, but I don't like to open it up too much, and I definitely don't like to be public about it because I'm trying to leave it in my past. So but we just wanted to say to y'all, get out, get out now, don't get out later. If they don't physically kill you, they will mentally, emotionally, and spiritually kill you. And you'll be a carcass running around here, walking around here. You will be a carcass. And the longer you are in that condition, that damaged condition, uh, from being damaged by that person, you will not be good going forward. So you need to start the healing process and you need to start it as soon as possible. Last thing, when you move on for the sake of Allah, make sure it's for the sake of Allah. Get you a person that is on deen. Get you a
That's
person that was on deen.
that's very, very important.
Yeah, because
Very important.
all the other stuff is just stuff. Intimacy is just stuff. Money is just stuff. Materials is just stuff. And should I say again, intimacy, it is just stuff. You can get that stuff with anything and anybody. But to have that unique understanding with the person that, hey, I'm here to make your life better, and they have that same understanding, go after that. And when you have a sit down, tell that to that person. Man, tell that to the woman. Woman, tell that to the man. Have that in front of your mind. I am here to help you with your deen. Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said marriage is half of your deen. He didn't say it was half of your dunya. He said it was half of your deen. Half of your deen. Everything else is built off of your deen. I can't stress that enough. Um, you can be fine as wine. You can look like this and look like that, and I actually take pride in the fact that, like I said earlier, when I checked out her page, I didn't see anything revealing from her. I didn't see anything revealing from her, and I take pride in that because as a man, we'd be like, "Whoa, shorty bad, whoa." So, ladies, sister, uh, have you heard the good word of Muhammad today? It's that quick with men, and I mean, she definitely got that crazy beautiful smile. Everybody know that smile, man. Everybody. So she definitely had that, but I'm a little older, so I ain't no sucker for a pretty face, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Little bit. So we're gonna sign out. We love y'all for the sake of Allah. Next topic: should a woman be okay with a high dowry or low dowry? I want to bring her in on this. I want to get a woman's perspective on this. I think we're gonna have to do like 3 parts of that because I definitely want to get Sakina on there, and I want to get the sister you was talking about earlier, Aisha, uh, and maybe Shay. Inshallah, I get y'all on there, and then I can interview y'all about it because men are talking about this, and y'all are the ones that y'all control that whole situation. So y'all not even giving y'all input on that. So
Yeah, most definitely. We should
so
do a video
inshallah,
about
I
that.
want to bring the wife in and the women in on that conversation, and I just want to air out what is their the women's perspective. Malik Muhammad said, "Oh, that's sweet, man. Allah Ta'ala increase you both in love and affection for His sake." I mean.
What she say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said that all that's sweet. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala increase you both in love and affection for His sake. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. Okay, we're gonna get out of here for real this time, y'all. I love y'all for the sake of Allah. وكل قول هذا واستغفر الله ولا اله الا الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum.